Hello everybody, I'm Acro and I want to make this video to show you all how to make Aimbot in the new workshop mode. This is pretty straightforward, so let's just jump into it. Alright, so first thing you're going to do is open up a custom game, go to settings, then workshop, and then add rule. After you go to add rule, change the event to ongoing each player. Then after that, you're going to want to create an action and then change the action to start facing. And then after you do that, you're going to want to change the vector thing, or where it says vector, change that to direction towards. Then you're going to want to click on vector once again and change that to event player. Alright, one more time now, click on vector and you're going to want to change vector to player closest to reticle. Then when you're done with that, change team, the top team, to opposite team. And after you change that to opposite team, you're going to want to change the other team to team of. And finally, when you're done with all of that, you want to change the number to a pretty high number. I changed mine to 10,000, but I eventually changed it to 1,000,000 because I wanted it to be super strong. Or maybe it wasn't 1,000,000, but I changed it to maybe 100,000 because I wanted that to be super strong. Because sometimes it'll lag behind if a player is moving pretty fast. Say Widow's hooking and she just goes zoom and the aimbot won't track. However, we're not done yet. Now we need to make a condition so that aimbot isn't wonky and always on. So go over to condition, create a condition, change the top value to is button held. Alright, so once you have this, what you can do is change the button to whatever you want. I just kept it as primary fire, but you don't have to change anything else in here except for whatever you want the button to be in order for the aimbot to activate. So right now, the aimbot will turn on, but it won't turn off. So we're going to make a rule for it to turn off. So what you firstly want to do is add a new rule. And now I don't do it in the video, but you really want to do this is change ongoing global to ongoing each player. I eventually go back and change it because the game won't work without it. But other than that, let's start with our condition. Add a condition, and what you want this condition to be is button held. And after you change it to is button held, change the bottom value to false instead of true. So when the button isn't being held, the aimbot will turn off. Now after that, what you want to do is go to create action. And when you create action, change it to stop facing, and then you're just done. You now have a fully working aimbot. I just want to go over a few extra things to add in before I end the video. So firstly is the aimbot, as set in the rules, will snap to the player closest to your reticle. So it may sometimes get wonky and say you're trying to aim at a person, but it aims to another person. That's because that person it's aiming at is closer to the reticle than the person you want it to hit. I also recommend putting an icon over each player. I have settings on how to do this on the screen right now. I named it wall hacks because it's wall hacks that shows you where our enemies are, but it doesn't like show them like Widow. It just puts an icon over their head, and this will allow you to aim your reticle easier, and I find that helps out. Actually, the background gameplay is of a game mode I made for Widow headshot only, or right now the gameplay isn't headshot only, but I changed it to headshot only, and you can just see it snapping to people. It's showing that the enemies are wherever they are with the icon. So it's pretty helpful for especially using aimbot, because aimbot will snap through walls. So you probably want to use an icon when using aimbot. Because of that, it will snap through walls and see people despite them being like across the map and there's someone being right next to you. But other than that, if you have any questions, just ask in the comments. I'll usually answer, or I'll always answer unless somehow there's more comments than I can answer. And if I can't help you, the Overwatch forums are always open, and I'll leave a link to the forums down below. But other than that, see ya.